Sorry, are you single?
Yes.
Are you straight?
Yes.
I also heard this. Are you a virgin?
Aiken's Eat, Pray, Love after NOC. This is your daily catch-up.
Boom.
Okay, everybody, if you're enjoying the daily catch-up, give us thumbs up, give us subscribe, give us notification bell. Thank you. On to the episode. Okay, everybody, we have a very special guest today. Welcome, Aiken.
Hey! We have Aiken here today. Welcome back from your very long European vacation.
Thank you. This one was Korea. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Korean. Sorry. What was that trip? I heard it was quite important trip to your mental health and soul searching.
Eat, pray, love, basically. Right. No, I just took a break because I've been working like crazy for the last four to 5 years. After that, I was free. I was like, okay, I need to go and just have fun and play.
Right. You went by yourself?
So in Korea, I was with my friends for half the trip, and then the other half was by myself. Yeah. So that was the whole like, okay, I need to think about my life, what I need to do next, what I want to do, blah 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 blah.
Right.
Yeah. So that was fun.
But got conclusion?
Or you like get answers.
Wow, you're straight away deep dive from Korea to like, okay, what's your plan?
The pivot.
No, I always tell myself I'm gonna take this weekend to unwind and think about my life. Yeah. And I was like, I had a good weekend, but I haven't think about life.
Yeah. So I forced myself to actually sit by the beach and just like write down my plans and what I really want to do. And I think for me, I needed to come back to a place where I was like, okay, what do I really want to do? What do I really like to do? Especially now that I get to call all the shots, right? And I think for me, one of the things is I need to fall in love with. Sounds so cheesy, right? But I need to fall in love with content creation again. Like, why do I want to...
I hate that word now.
Yeah, I know you know.
You hate the word love?
Why do I want to put myself on YouTube? Basically, and what kind of content do I want to really create lah? You know. So thinking about that, I guess this alludes to the fact that I probably will sort of start creating content again on YouTube lah.
Why do you feel like you fell out of love with content creation?
Ooh, asking the good questions.
You own self make your own self mysterious, Ken.
Best part is that Denise damn proud of herself now also.
I think that there were just so many elements and variables tied to being with a company, being under a show, being under a brand. So I've never been fully independent in my life till now.
Right. How old are you?
33.
Oh, okay. We're almost the same.
We are 10 years apart.
Oh,
yeah, 10 years apart.
Yeah, I'm 23.
That's just
don't rub it in.
That's just
Can you imagine? You are literally at the same stage in life now.
I'm so far away.
Oh my lord.
Wait, I think for people who need some context, okay, like are there people who don't know who you are?
Hey, please.
Hey, this Aiken
In Singapore,
I don't know. Got new people every day joining YouTube. I don't know.
Yeah, so Aiken was
actually we want
claim
to know
to fame
your story.
was
No, actually we want to know your
NOC,
story.
right?
Yeah.
How do you get started?
How did you get in? Like from what I've seen, it was a random comment on your Instagram because our producer go and dig and I also go and dig. Is that you somehow was able to guest on an episode because of some competition that you won, is it?
Oh, okay. So, long...
I thought your Silver's cousin.
No.
So all the rumors that are flying.
There's rumors. Okay, I gotta set the record straight. Actually, I've been working in media for a really long time, since I was 21.
Hey.
Why did I point at you? You're not 21.
Yeah.
12 years ago.
Way to rub it in, guys.
Over a decade. Okay.
Over a decade. Yeah. And I actually just needed to make more than $10 an hour to pay for my uni fees. That's why I did it. So I just wanted to like pay for school, pay for poly, pay for uni. The competition I think John's talking about is this competition called the 5 Search, which I was a part of in MediaCorp. So I was under MediaCorp, and actually I was in 2 competitions, one that I won and one that I came up runner-up in, and it still wasn't working out.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
To do what? To act?
Yeah, compete in what?
To act and host basically.
Right.
So anyway, I met D through 987 because I had joined them. And then D was like, hey, NOC is actually looking for a food show host, and I think you'd be great for it. And then he linked us up. And so after Food King, sort of the food segment that I guest start on, then I started doing the skits.
Right.
Like doing more stuff in NOC, yeah.
Also, you're not family with anybody lah. I mean like blood.
No.
Okay.
My mother, Roslyn Aoyong, who's probably watching this. Yeah.
Oh.
Thank you.
The house that you are living in now is under your name, right?
Yeah.
That is your house. So then is there any conflict with your mom? It's like your house, is it your rules, or like how does she... You know what I mean?
Okay, so my mom and I, the reason why the house is under my name, actually is co-owned by both of us, was because when we were 21, we were evicted from our previous house because my mom didn't have enough money to pay for the mortgage. So we were asked to leave that house, and it was quite another trauma that I had to live through. But when we bought this house, we could only buy it if I bought it with her.
Because you were younger.
Because I was younger, right? And I was like going to go to school and make money and whatever lah. So we both share the house. But I think my mom and I have sort of assimilated into a very nice rhythm of being like roommates. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
And
You're really looking very good on the show.
Yeah. Glowing.
Yeah. I mean, dude, if I was single.
why?
Such an eligible bachelor.
No. I feel like my mom and I have come a long way simply because we didn't always have such a good relationship as what people see now.
Right.
It took a lot of work and a lot of time. And probably next time when I launch my own channel, I will share more with that maybe.
So Food King was created by...
Food King was conceptualized by, I guess, Ryan, Sylvia, Lee.
So then after that, did you start producing episodes?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, so I came on as a host and then I started producing episodes basically. Yeah.
So you took it upon yourself to like step up a bit and...
No, I was offered. Yeah, the role. Yeah.
Okay.
So how did that fallout in NOC actually affect you that you need to go and eat, pray, love?
No, I mean, okay, so I will say this. I can't say much because...
With respect to both of them.
Yeah, we're going through like legal settlements and whatever. But basically to me, the whole of Singapore was put in my position, which is being in the middle. After a while, I was just like, okay, I don't want to be in this position anymore. And I don't need to be in this position anymore. I don't want to when... I think my work speaks for itself and the whole of Singapore can see the work that I put out, you know? So... decided to leave. I love them both dearly as friends and mentors, and I think that's really all there is to it. But I had to draw my own boundaries.
Right.
A lot of people say to me like, "Oh, you're like the child of a divorce." Then I'm like, "Yeah, but the thing is, I'm not a child. Like I'm 32, right? I'm a year younger than both of them."
Oh shit.
Yeah. So
To be honest, I thought they were allowed also.
Yeah. I mean, I'm so grateful for the platform.
Yeah.
I will always be, and for the show, and I feel like I've shown my gratefulness with the work that I've done.
Yeah.
But
I mean, you came out looking pretty handsome lah at the end
Hey,
of the ordeal, right?
thanks.
There's so many like people like I'm gonna miss all everyone that left lah. Talking about how like some of their favorite people in NOC, Virus by the way,
I love Virus.
most mentioned. Yeah, everybody seemed to. I've never met a guy.
Yeah.
Virus looking for a job.
Just openly recruiting everybody.
No, and then
Actually
there's
tried to recruit me like
no, then there's you, right? You keep coming out on the same list of people that were very loved in NOC.
I appreciate that. I really appreciate that because I think like I love the show. I love eating and just showing people where to eat. And for me, it was always about the work. I came to work and I felt like that's really what I did. And I came to just build a connection with the audience, and that's what we set out to do lah.
On the note of like taking a step back and mental health and all that, right? I think in one of your posts you did mention that there was a year where you started experiencing anxiety attacks and all that, right?
Yeah.
If you're comfortable sharing, is that linked to your work or was that a separate issue?
Totally. Like I think just 2021 was insane, right? It was like, well, looking back now, I don't know how I survived it. It was so many things, and I think I knew I needed to start to draw these boundaries, or I need to leave, or whatever it is, when I started having anxiety attacks. And you know, like anxiety is it's a word you hear a lot nowadays.
Becoming a buzzword.
It's becoming a buzzword. And to be honest, I was just like, oh, okay, lor, like, you know, all this mental health education and all that. But until you experience it for yourself, and until I did, it really sort of changed the way I viewed and experienced that lah. And it was really, really hard.
This was before or after the fallout?
The anxiety started to build, I think, wow, I don't even know. When's to y'all, the fallout is in.
Oh, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Actually, what sparked it? When did Singapore first know?
Someone leaked
The chicken rice lah.
Chicken rice.
SG
Chicken rice.
Chicken rice.
Yeah.
Chicken.
So I mean, like, the anxiety was something that's just like started to build up. I think towards the end of last year lah. Yeah. I had to really learn how to manage that, and then it made me just sort of evaluate my life again. Like, it forced me to a place where I'm like, whoa, how did this get so bad? I thought I'm managing well. I thought I knew how to take care of myself, but clearly now, like, I'm being so affected. And it made me look for a therapist so that I could work through it for like that very intense moments lah.
How was that? I always thought about going to a therapist.
Very good. It's one of the best investments of my life. I think like if you're watching this and if you sort of need a bit of guidance or a bit of like a time to just reflect and evaluate your life, or if you're struggling with something, it's a very nice space that will just help you lah. So I think I've learned a lot about myself, and I don't want to come off as I'm like completely
enlightened.
Yeah, but it did help me to understand that, like, for example, people can say all they want about the saga or whatever, but I think I discovered that I was quite a people pleaser because I came from a single parent family, like growing up. And then I was very, very afraid of conflict. So these were the things that were triggering like these anxiety attacks and all of that. And I just had to learn how to sort of like manage and be assertive in a healthy way, to even allow myself to be angry in a healthy way, these kind of things. So these are the things that I had to at like, 33 sort of go and like learn again, which was very it was very valuable for me as a person.
So you're saying like the therapist like kind of re-looked at your history or past and kind of like
what's the secret sauce? Can you just like leak some shit?
Secret sauce? What do you mean?
like what does the therapist do for you that, for example, your best friend couldn't?
Oh, okay. So therapy is actually backed by science, and so actually my degree is suddenly I'm
No way.
no, because my degree is in psychology and not in media or anything. So I knew, because I studied it, that it is valuable and it's of worth, you see. So essentially the therapy that I'm going for is something called EMDR, which is eye movement desensitization therapy, something like that. You can look it up, where you basically reprocess traumatic memories in your life. So a lot of my anxiety, a lot of like difficulty came from.
So the therapist actually got all the first dips on the Saga.
Oh no.
She's like, what? No, wait, tell me more.
That's her job though.
She tuned up the rapid eye machine.
No, there's nothing. Okay. Like contrary, right? The anxiety or the surface stuff is just rooted in a lot of deep other traumatic experiences.
from your past, like in childhood and things
from
like
my childhood and stuff. Yeah. So it's about sort of uncovering that and then reprocessing that.
Wait, then what is the eye movement part?
There are various ways to do it. Like for example, like now they have these things called tappers, where you hold these two tappers and they vibrate alternate sequence.
Okay.
And
no.
faster.
This is not that kind. I don't know what kind of therapy this guy has been looking up. Yeah. But basically,
This kind, okay.
But basically, you sort of talk about, let's say, revisit the trauma and then you reprocess that memory while just holding the tapper.
Once you started therapy, immediately this was the method that was chosen. Like,
because I sort of read up about EMDR, I looked for a therapist who did EMDR.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because you are living with your mom as well, right? So did she know that you were kind of going through this, and was she privy to
Totally.
all that? Was she scared?
I think she was worried because how would she how I've heard her describe it to my friends now is, during that time when I talk to him, right, it's like he's like a wall. Like the words just like fell off me. I wasn't listening to her because I was always thinking about something. There was something that was always on my mind. It's also me who said yes to taking on too much. And that was me not being able to establish like proper boundaries. It was a very painful lesson that I felt like I learned very late in my 30s, when I should have learned it a lot easier because of the people-pleasing nature. I just said like yes, and I didn't put my foot down to say no, like this is it and I need to stop. Yeah. So I think
I relate very hard to that.
Do you?
By the way, you continue.
Yeah, no. So that's why at the end of last year, I was like, this is me putting my foot down and I'm done. I need to live my life without anxiety. I need to go and heal. I need to go and just stop.
But what a silver lining though. I mean, like obviously like the Saga and everything and experiencing this is so like crazy, but at least you were able to come to that realization also.
Totally silver lining, I think. Yeah. Sometimes I wonder if I weren't pushed, like would I have made a decision, So I'm thankful for it.
What's something that you think you learned about how you now perceive life? That you can share with us? That perhaps people that are not in their mid-30s, right?
Yeah.
should know earlier in life.
I think
so. Like the one person in this room.
No, we do this show for you.
So this is just for you, especially because you're working with them. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I think for me, because I was operating out of this whole like people pleasing, being conflict averse to a point like, I didn't even realize it.
Give me an example.
It was subconscious. For example, I'll be a yes man lor. If there is a job booked for me that I didn't want to do, like I felt passionate about it, or I resonated with certain things, I would just do it because it's already sort of booked. I didn't want to go through like the confrontation of
saying that it's not for me.
Yeah. So I think that if you're finding yourself like, if people are always telling you are too nice, people always tell me that I'm too nice, and I think that's a sign of like a sort of like a people pleaser syndrome, and that comes from trauma. So it's not your fault. It just makes you human and vulnerable, but you need to learn how to manage that properly. And I wish I learned to say no. I wish that I learned that confrontation and being able to confront somebody and have healthy conflict is actually healthy and normal and productive.
What are examples of trauma that can cause people to become people pleasers?
Oh, so this was
what was your root story?
So this is interesting. I think during therapy I found this out, that when I was younger, right, I had a memory of my mom and my dad fighting, and this was like so young, like I don't even know how old I was, like below 5, that kind of thing. And I went to my dad and I was like, hey, is everything okay with mom? And then I went to my mom and I said, is everything okay with dad? And
At
both
5 years old.
like younger.
Good on you, man.
Yeah, I was like, are you okay? Are you okay? So I was that person who was trying to
Mediate in a
mediate,
sense.
right? Or make something work, right? I still remember my dad was like, hey, don't worry about it. Just watch the show. And then my mom was just kind of like a bit dismissive about it. I think right after that, my dad didn't live with us. As a child, the trauma you learn is that, something happened. I'm trying to solve it. And the next thing I know, one of the primary caregivers of my life, or anchors of my life, which was my dad, had left completely. Right. There was that always feel that maybe do I have this relationship with my dad, or you know what I mean? So the people pleasing thing came in because of sort of like that trauma, and you live out of it not realizing you've been living out of it. So I think that's why therapy has been so beneficial, because I'm like, oh, this is where it came from, this is how it's manifesting in my adult life, but I can learn to manage it better because I'm not that child anymore.
Right.
I want to ask you, why do you say that you relate with that though? With
Don't want.
okay, sorry, this is not my show.
What is it?
They also want to know.
Why can I say?
No, because I also learned that about myself. I used to be very much of a yes man, people pleaser, but I didn't see myself as a yes man.
Right, same.
Because I tell you, my superpower in this life, right, is I have the ability to mind myself. Okay. Yeah, like if let's say I made a mistake, I murder somebody here, I can in my head, right, justify to myself, man, and that's very dangerous.
Right.
Yeah. And so I can mind myself. But I mean, so I've never gone down that road, right? Yeah. But then I mind myself to go through a lot of shit.
Right.
To kind of like,
yeah.
It's my job, but I mean, that person is my boss, but these are my friends, I take care of them, I have responsibility, but
Totally.
And so it's yes to the point whereby I'm one level I have deviousness I have that you probably don't have because you're a very nice guy, right? Was that I think at the point of giving, you start having that expectation. If one day if you need someone, right, they can't be there for you because you've been there for them. Yeah, that kind of vibe. And then when you try and call it in, and which nobody's fault, to be honest, which what I've come to learn.
Yeah.
Right. It's an expectation I've placed on people.
Yeah.
That you were there for them is by your fucking choice.
Yeah.
You don't expect them to be there. Right. And especially if they were there for you in their own way, but you don't recognize that.
Yeah.
You felt like you're not there for me in the way I was there for you.
Yeah.
Then you start feeling, was like years of goodwill actually nothing. Then I start questioning myself in that sense, and I feel like okay, and in my course of work I deal with a lot of people that are just simply difficult, but does it mean I stop being friends with them? And then I realize no way, then how come this f***ers can keep saying no to me, I still friends with you? But I feel like I need to say yes to people to maintain a semblance of relationship.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
exactly that.
In a very crude manner, I've just learned that actually nobody gives a fuck. You can be someone that cares about the world and can be someone that cares for yourself. You're going to lead the exact same life. One you're going to be happier. And it's not the guy that cares for the world. Yeah, it's what I've learned. And if you want to, like, you still have the innate sense to do more and contribute to the world, which I like to think that I do, right? Then you got to make sure that you are more than self-sufficient.
So relating to that, right, I have a question. Like, do you feel like when you started saying no, you lost friends?
No, not at all.
I did.
Really? Oh, I mean,
no.
Wait, I can't say no lah. I mean, I left the whole.
Your no is like, hey, Aiken, you coming to work tomorrow? No.
No.
How about?
I mean, I guess yes.
But by your own choice lah.
My first instinct was to say no, was because the people around me that really, really are like my inner circle, my community, the people that I've grown up with, I feel like I've learned how to navigate around that a lot better. But yes, I guess in terms of my work relationships, I don't know if they're lost completely. Right now, I just do think that I just need time apart. We all need time apart. I mean, like, it's just been a lot. So yes and no. Yeah.
Like not lost friends per se, like they're out of the life, but like just the relationship is not the same.
Yeah.
And
but
it's good. It takes a while, right? It takes a while to let yourself know that.
And then maybe when you come back, you both are better people or different people, right? And I think that I resonate with what you say, because like the thing about that is, if you don't hold someone hostage to the whole like I've been there for you, so you must be there for me. Like I think that's a mature development.
John Paul has something to say.
How do you know? By his,
he's gonna overtone us.
Eyes,
Yeah.
just his eyes.
Why?
I feel the whole time he's talking, that time he's like.
No, I feel like I'm completely the opposite. I'm a no man.
Oh. That's great.
I rarely say yes.
But is that rooted in some other trauma also, right?
Yeah. No, and if I really think back, right, my family is the exact opposite. fight, you avoid, first of all, trying to interfere.
Yeah.
And then they stay together even though there's unhappiness.
Ooh.
So then it make me
forces
be
that
selfish
you don't give a
and protect myself. So I don't put myself out there and keep saying yes to everything.
Oof.
I just say no.
See, therapy right here. Done.
No, what I was actually going to say is that even though that was what happened and that's your realization now, like being a yes man has helped you to get to where you were, right? Like it will definitely open doors and opportunities
for sure.
you, right? Then what does that balance look like? Because you're going to say yes, you cannot suddenly switch to saying no to everything also.
Yeah, I think that comes down to re-evaluation. So this is something, for example, in therapy that I learned as well. I was like just telling my therapist, or rather she called it out. She said that, I feel like maybe you might be operating out of a scarcity mindset. For example, when a client comes to you, do you feel like you're selling yourself short? And actually, when I ask myself deep down, right, I do leh.
What does selling yourself short mean?
Means I honestly feel like my rate is, let's say, X amount, right? But I quote you less than that, no? Even at the quotation stage, I already quote you less than that. Because I mind F myself to think that, times are sensitive now. I just came out of that.
Yeah.
If people want to work with me, thank God already, just take give them low price. So what I did was I've learned to stick by a boundary or stick by a standard. Like for example, actually no, this will be the rate that I sell myself at that I know I will not be selling myself short. And then I stick to that. And then beyond the money, because it's not just about the money, beyond the money is what values align. What are some of the core values, or what are some of the things to which I would say yes and to which I would say no in a brand or in a campaign? And these are things I started
there really was a phase for you. You had this banking phase.
Oh, totally.
You know what I mean by the banking phase?
Totally.
The Muna phase. You
What?
were in all the
Wait,
Oh my god, wait, I know.
Face.
He's basically saying I was just as handsome as Ben King. Ben King face.
Sure.
Oh,
No, I'm kidding, I'm
You need
kidding,
another
I'm
appointment.
kidding.
No, but there was that phase that you did have actually, which banking also went through, Muna also went through, and then I think they have since recovered. That they took on every ad and they were just saturated.
Oh yeah.
They were everywhere.
Crazy saturated.
Yeah.
No, so besides like work, right? Like what about like personal life or like personal relationships? Like is there also that difference?
Yeah, for sure. If a friend asks you to meet for dinner and you genuinely just don't want to that day, for example,
Right.
to say no, for me to say no, unheard of in the past. So I think how you can sort of help in your own therapy maybe, or how in managing yourself, is you just stop and think for a while. Just stop and give some thought. And like you said, now that you've thought about, for example, where your dispositions come from, right? At least you're aware of it. So you can ask yourself, can I just be a bit more objective when it comes to making a decision now?
Right.
I do believe it's like that. You will have to tip over to find an equilibrium. You tip over to realize that you have tipped over
Yeah,
and you did not die.
totally.
And then you find your equilibrium.
Yeah.
Sorry, are you single?
Yes.
Are you straight?
Yes.
I also heard this. Are you a virgin?
I'm a virgin.
They all know that.
wow.
I don't know why I know that.
Jumper also.
He's asshole lah.
Why is this a joke? My virginity is not a joke.
Yeah. Preach! Oh my god. I'm so happy to meet another.
Make fun of me.
He's not.
Huh?
Wait, don't get
No,
so
he's
careful.
not.
Oh, he's not. Huh?
not.
No, I respect that. Yeah.
No, but yeah.
Yeah. Talk to me. Like,
Talk to you about my
don't
virginity.
think we are laughing at you. Yeah.
We're not.
You are the last of us already.
No, but you've been in relationships.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, say
My
lah.
last.
Was Joanna. Hey, I'm just kidding. I
No,
just
no,
plugged
no,
it
no.
out of nowhere.
No, me and Joanna really we are not.
Oh, yeah.
We're just friends.
Anymore lah.
Huh? No, really don't have. Didn't have. So I mean, I'm a Christian, and I think that in my faith we believe that God's best for you is sex in the context of marriage.
Yeah.
So I've always believed in that, and I also always believed in sort of honoring the partner and the person that you're with. If you think about sex, for example, the act of sex is actually something super vulnerable and super sacred and precious. That's the way that I view it. But in Hollywood, it's sort of like now the norm for you to first have sex and then continue to see
it's
whether
casualized.
right.
Yeah.
So I mean that didn't really make sense. And let's just be honest here, like Hollywood doesn't show you all the drama and the mess that people have to clean up emotionally and in trauma and whatever. They just portray it as like some great, have fun and whatever. So for me, I've always kept sexuality as sacred.
Is it important for you or for your future partner to also be a virgin?
No,
Into
not
those
necessarily.
values?
Yeah, not necessarily.
Good for you.
But is there a
if not-
limit though? Like, is there a body count that you cannot?
It's like 100.
No, I don't think so. I don't think that there's a limit
For yourself lah. Have you ever went on a date with a girl like Tinder, for example, right?
Not on Tinder.
There are many girls that are the hots for you lah, assuming like,
Handsome.
Like
banking face.
So
you like
charismatic.
banking. Anyway, and then realize that you want to maintain a virgin, and that was like, wow, deal breaker for her.
No. I mean, okay, to be honest, right, before I even get to a dating phase, I would hope that the person that shares the same beliefs and the same faith.
Right.
So I don't, I mean, I'm not trying to be exclusive, but like I don't.
Yeah, you only date good Christian girls.
Because you see, I've been like just living my life like this, right? And honestly, I've been like married to my work for a long time, right? But apparently, it's like I'm some rare breed of a person now. Like whenever I tell people, they're like, "How are you a virgin?" and all of that.
Yeah.
So I mean,
but I don't think anyone's making fun of it though. It's just more of how did you.
Totally.
Yeah, I guess it's a self-control thing that clearly only you have in this room, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, also like a self-control in thought and deed, right? That's what my faith teaches. That we are masters of our body and not our body or our sexuality is masters of us. What I want to say along with that also is that I'm a bit conservative. So my boundary is like, I think recently a dating app just like got in touch and said like, do you want to do a campaign together? And I was like, it's not really my thing. I'm very conservative and I'm actually quite traditional. So I'm the like, I hope to meet somebody via a friend or like at a party rather than like go on dating app. So you'll never see me on a dating app.
Can I try and change your mind though?
Why?
I feel like dating app
He's gonna promote dating app.
It's a byproduct of humanity's progress. I don't find it any more less genuine, like any less genuine than real life. Because in the past, people marry at a much younger age, right?
Yeah.
And so you had social catalyst. Every year you graduate, you go to the next class, you meet 39 new friends, 39 new friends, introduced to one friend, you got 80 new friends a year, right? Then you go to church, you go to whichever religious and social activity you have on the weekends. And as you grow older, right?
Yeah.
That's gone. You're not making 40 new friends a year now, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Acquaintance maybe, but friends no.
Do churches organize like mating?
Mating?
Like dating
So which one?
Like do they organize like dating sessions and stuff like that?
Actually, I've heard of it, I think.
Huh? How come I never hear? I go church.
Maybe Singapore. In the States, yes.
Or like, is there like a dating app that's known for like everybody that's like Christian or what?
It's weird because it's like also a white supremacy thing to keep within our own tribe. So you don't go and date other religion, then you fall off the wagon kind of shit.
There are Christian like specific dating, like I'm not sure it's an app or it's a website.
Oh yeah, like I see like Christian mingle or Christian singles or something like that.
Correct.
So when you go on dates, right, is there like this like a strange pressure for you to pick like a good like restaurant or whatever because of your
not just on dates, just anybody I eat with now is the pressure is on. So the way to my heart actually is if you find a place and it's good. Because I'm always the one looking, right? So if
I mean a lot of pressure to bring a Food King member out to eat, right? You know what I'm saying? I'll be like actually if we do go on dinner, I'll be like, you choose lah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because if I choose then it sucks, then I'm gonna see it in your face.
But it sucks on the other end because like my friend used to be a writer for like I think like one of the food blogs like the Iron Chef or what. So every time we want to go out, right, we just tell her, hey, you choose the place, you tell us where to go. Then she damn angry,
every group they sort of expect you to be the one who finds the place to eat.
But you go back to the places where y'all did Food King.
Oh yeah, for sure, we genuinely love it.
I think some people have more questions about Food King.
Sure.
I feel
I have a question about
is there a guest that came on, right, that the food recommendation really sucked ball?
We would have said it though. That's the thing about the show. I mean, Ryan and Dee would have said it.
Right.
Or you would,
because you are a yes man.
I would have struggled to say it, and I'll leave them to say it.
Right,
maybe. Also, I need to disclaim that I'm that guy also because I'm the client facer.
Yeah.
So they can eat and leave, right? I have to talk to the client after that.
Yeah, and like you paid for us to come, we come and film rating, we're giving you a shit rating.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So I mean, thank God that's over.
You must have seen the TikTok about the Food King Revamp. They pasted a sticker over the current Food King sticker. I think Ryan was broken-hearted.
I think for me, I've always held Food King and whatever work that I do at an arm's length, and this is something that I determined at the start of my career because I know that these things will be gone tomorrow. So to be honest with you, I am not as heartbroken as people would think.
Right.
Even though I built the show for the last 5 years, because I've always held it at arm's length. Don't hold the fame, don't hold the money, don't hold the commercial success close to your heart to a point where it will consume you.
Yeah.
So I've always just been like, I'm here to do work, and I've always kept that as my focus. By the end of the day, it's still just work.
Yeah, you got paid for that thing and then done lah, right?
Yeah,
Move on to the next day.
Totally. And who I am as a person is beyond the show. Like the show is an extension of who I am. The brand will carry on without me, right? And whatever becomes of it is, I've did my part for that season, and
it's a good season. Yeah, something to be proud of also.
Thank you. Yeah. So I work really hard, and I feel like it speaks for itself. So to me, it's enough for me lah. I mean, I ate 200 plus episodes. I ate so much. Yeah.
How involved are you in the whole process of like every episode?
I am very involved.
Like from pre-production all the way to like post.
Yeah, like to post, like I'm watching the video I'm making the edits. I'm finding the places. Like would go down to the hawker center or to the wherever.
Pre-production is quite, troublesome.
Yeah.
What show?
Yeah.
And then also client manager, and then hosting the show. And then when my editors have edited it, I would review the edit.
So basically, they hire you to manage the whole show and monetize .
Totally, yeah.
Right.
Okay, that's all the questions we have. If you have more questions, leave it in the comments down below. And thank you, Aiken, for joining us today.
Hey, thanks for having me. Thank you.
All the best. He's with starting your
on your new
YouTube
channel. Yeah.
Hopefully.
Collab
Yeah, maybe. I'll let you know.
Gonna force into saying yes.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, what the f?
Yeah, like you're cup buddies already.
Anyway, thank you for watching. Like, share, and
I'm
subscribe.
never coming back in.
And we'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye.